It is talking transfers. We are in the lovely surroundings of Brasco, having some juices. Healthy today, Gorsty.
On it, don't you? That weekend.
I've had a bit, weekend. The start of Thursday and it's gone on to Tuesday. So, a lot of fantastic concerts at Anfield and things like that, which I've been enjoying. But the transfer business is still obviously the most important factor. Can't all be dancing to Dua Lipa and all that.
I think a few were on Friday when Vert got announced.
Well, yeah, there was a few big sort of dance moves coming out then, but like all Liverpool fans, all football fans, really, it's on to the next one. I think a few people were expecting Kirkus to be announced by now. We're calling this on Wednesday. Do you think it'll happen today?
Yeah, I've had nothing to suggest otherwise. He flew in, didn't he, on Monday with his family, and Fabrizio Romano had the exclusive picture. I don't know whether you saw that, which seems to be his new go-to. Get the picture on the private jet. So yeah, he flew in, underwent his medical. I'd not heard nothing untoward, and it should be announced at some point today. By the time this comes out, we might even be a Liverpool player. But yeah, all done and dusted as far as I'm aware. So it's. It's a strange one because I think a lot of people have expected this one a bit more than maybe one or two others.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's been going on a little bit longer than it actually has. £40 million, it's a historic deal for Liverpool in terms of the most expensive they've ever paid for a left back. Take the summer spending up to about 185 million now, is it? Which is quite the outlay really, and it's going to increase. Do you include Mamardashvili in this summer's figures? So it's going to be a record spending summer, and it's another step for me in terms of away from that Jurgen Klopp era, if you like. Andy Robertson has been the number one left back for the best part of 8 years, hasn't he? And Liverpool clearly looking towards a long-term view now at left back, and I'm excited by it. He's aggressive, he's very quick, pacey, and him and Frimpong on the opposite flanks next season is just going to inject a lot more pace into this team.
Yeah, there is this continual change, isn't it? Which football clubs have to evolve and teams have to evolve really. And people keep putting up that picture of the team from the final and shading people out, and it's crazy. And I think there's only two of them left now. I think it's just if Robertson does go, then it is just Virgil and Mo, I think, isn't it? And Ali obviously, and so but of the outfield players, and things do evolve, but. Left back was an area that I think most fans identified last year as an area where Liverpool felt Liverpool could improve, with Chimikas maybe not being at the required level of a Liverpool starter to play it, although obviously a good player, and then Robertson with his best years behind him. And so I think we should be excited about this signing because we've gone out there and got someone who's highly rated. He was in the PFA team of the year, and some of his assists last season, from that left-back position, you talk about his pace, but those whip balls are quite Andy Robertson, aren't they, to the back post? And you think Mo Salah will be looking at those thinking, I'll have some of that.
He's very much like a young Andy Robertson, isn't he? He motors down the left, he's very quick, he's very aggressive, he gets such sight, he loves the tackle, he seems to like the aggro that goes with it, and like you say, a very good, technically gifted, left foot. So I think a lot of the talk last season was, what does an Arne Slot fullback look like? Because we were seeing it a lot more, Trent Alexander-Arnold being a more traditional right back. He wasn't venturing into midfield much. Orthodox, like I say, a bit of a, I don't think Trent had his best season creatively. So it was a bit like, well, if Liverpool move on from him, what does a fullback look like in Arne Slot's team? And I think the arrivals now are showing you what an Arne Slot fullback is, very pacey, quick, and you imagine the speed of those two next season going up and down the wing, looking to stretch teams, create space for others. And I think it's a sort of, the next step of the tactical blueprint, if you like, under Arne Slot. So, I think Vert will take the sort of lion's share of the attention for obvious reasons, but I think there's a lot of reasons to be excited about, a new look sort of left and right back at Liverpool now.
Yeah, and you look at full-back, and like I say, it was a position that a lot of Liverpool fans identified. I think if you asked Liverpool fans, obviously they might have said a few different things, but it was left-back and maybe up front. It looks like Darwin is getting closer to leaving, and then there's a few more Isak stories that have come out over the last 24 hours as well, which is an interesting one. I mean, you talk about the outlay this summer, if they got Isak over, that'd take it, upwards of £300 million, which would be really something, but...
YouTube Press the button, become a member of the Anfield Wrap from the heart of the city of Liverpool. The best way to enjoy all your Liverpool-based videos, everything you need, every single day. It is the Anfield Wrap.